Hi, it's Sarah here from Crafting and Stamping, and I'm back to make one of my quick cards. Now this week I'm working with the red velvet paper. This is a lovely plush velveteen type paper. What I would just say is be careful how you store it. It does flatten a little bit sometimes, and I don't know whether you can see, but I've had some card over the top of that has pressed into it slightly, so just take care with that. Now what I'm going to do today is back a bit of this red velvet, and this is a 6x6 sheet just because I've cut it down. They are 12x12 sheets that you get in the pack. Details are below. So what I'm going to do is add some of the adhesive sheet. Your adhesive sheet might look just slightly different from this. I can't remember whether we've sort of had a repackaging. I've had mine a little while, so it might look just slightly different. I've cut this to 3 inches by 6 inches. What I'm going to do is, as it says, peel here. That just gives you a little bit of a lip there that you can see, and that's what you want to handle. If you put your fingers on top of that, it's sticky and your fingers will take away the stick, so just be careful. So the best way I've found of doing this is just to put that up against that edge and lay it down. I've actually got a little bit left over there, so I'm just going to need to be a bit careful with that. If we flip it over and rub a bone folder or similar on the back, that applies the adhesive sheet. And I'm just going to run my finger down there and take off the excess glue so that it doesn't stick to other things. So that's my prepared sheet. Now I've already prepared an A6 landscape card here, and I've got a piece of brushed metallic. This is one of the it's one of the brushed metallics, which is a pack of different colours, and I think this one's the bronze. It's just because it gives us a nice sort of background for this. I've prepared a little sentiment strip of basic white to go onto some more brushed metallic, and I've prepped a piece of basic black to fit on there. The measurements are all going to be below. So what I'm going to do now is take my paper trimmer, and with this I'm just going to trim off that little bit of an edge so that this is all straight, because one of the main things is just to keep these straight. And I'm going to just cut a few strips of different thicknesses, and I'm not measuring this at all. You can do if you want, but I'm just going for creating some different strips. The main thing to do is to try and keep it straight. That one's not as straight as it should be. It's thinner at the top than it is at the base, so I just need to be a bit careful about that. And it might be where you do want to just look at your guides to keep the paper straight. But like I said, I'm just going to cut a few different ones. Now I have already prepped some of these just so that you don't have to watch me cutting all of the strips. So let's grab. So what I've already done is I've created the base that I'm putting these on, and you can see I've just got a little bit of something that's landed on the red velvet in a couple of places. So this is a 3 inch by 4 inch panel. It doesn't have to be exact. The main thing is to work on one of these silicone mats, because once we take off that backing, it's all sticky. So if you're just working on a paper background, it's going to stick to it. So I really do recommend that you have a silicone mat in your craft cupboard. I started by putting a piece kind of across the centre, just so that I've got something to work out from, and then I've started to layer these up. I'm going to go with a thinner piece here. So, and all we do is we peel back, and if you need to use the take a pick tool to do that, you might want to. And then I'm just going to get it kind of lined up so it's just off the edge. I'm going to line that up a little bit closer actually, like that. And this is, so this is, if, like I say, if you need to use the take a pick tool, you can just get under a corner, lift that up, and that backing comes off and it makes it adhesive. With the adhesive sheet that we've put on, we've got that then. And be careful not to get your fingers too much over it. And this is, again, all I'm doing is just making sure that I lay these down so that they have got an even gap between. What you can do then, if you want to, is just trim off one of these bits that we've already got. That's going to need to be a bit, oops. And this is where it's handy to have the silicone sheet behind. So, and then you can just lay it on the silicone sheet. It's not going to stick to it, so you'll be able to pick it up and use it again later. And I'm going to put that one on a little bit tighter, like that. And then I think that's going to, not quite long enough. So I thought I'd got a thinner strip, but maybe not. So I'll just grab my trimmer back and cut another narrow strip. Just want a really nice skinny strip here. And that's nice and skinny. There we are. And with the 6" by 3", you should just have enough for this base that we've got going in the middle. You might just need to reuse some of these ends as we go. And come on, it's sticking to my fingers a lot. So get that down, and like I say, I just want to snip that off and then reuse that bit there, like that. Then I'll go with this slightly wider one, and we'll just use that bit there. Now this is where we need to lift this off, and the silicone sheet helps us with that. And we're going to just trim away, following the line of the card, the black card. You just need to pull these off your scissors a little bit. And that is not quite up to the joint. There we go. You could put this in your trimmer and do it, but you're going to have the same issue of it then sticking to your blade. So I do recommend using scissors for this. Now this one I'm making is a more masculine birthday card, but you could use this as well for Christmas. But it's nice to know how you can use your red velvet all year round. And like I say, I'm using the brushed metallics as my background. You could go with a contrasting colour. Okay, I'm happy with that. So I'll just move all my sticky bits out of the way. And that silicone sheet will keep them handy. So So there we are. And what I'd just like to do once I've got it all in place is grab my bone folder and just rub across it from the back to make sure that that's well adhered. So now I'm going to adhere this to my brushed gold. Like I say, if you don't want to use the brushed metallics, you could go for you could just go for white, for a layer of white, or you could go with real red. It's red velvet paper. It's not a particular red. It will work with the Poppy Parade or the real red. It's not quite either. So I'm now going to just pop that on there like that. I've taken the Happy Birthday sentiment, and this is from the Artistically Inked set. And I'm going to use my Memento black ink. And stamp this on. So I like to just stand up to stamp, and you can see that this is one where I've actually cut it in half to get the happy and birthday separately, but you can just reassemble them on the block. And there's my birthday sentiment. So I'm going to stick this onto some more brushed metallic, and I think I'm at the end of my seal there, so I'll just grab my Tombow instead. You need to be careful if you're using Tombow liquid glue with the brushed metallic. If you get a little bit seep out and smudge on the metallic, it does make it quite difficult to get off cleanly. So that's why I tend to use the seal with it. So I'm being careful not to smush the glue out. And then I'm just going to grab my dimensionals and pop the panel up on the front of my basic black card. I'll go with a few. I tend to put them in the corners, then depending on how big the panel is, in between and in the centre, so it's well supported. The panel's not going to get too crushed. If you've not got the support in the centre, then when it gets posted it could bow a bit in the centre. So I'm going to pop that onto my card front, getting the borders a little bit even, probably a little bit more at the base than the top. And then I'm going to put some more dimensionals on my sentiment, like that. And I'm going to pop that just about there, kind of near the base. And you can see there's just been a little bit of glue that's smudged out there, so I've got to be careful with that. And there we've got our quick card for today. So it's a really lovely card, lots of texture, nice bold colours, and like I say, I think that makes a nice masculine card. Could just say Happy Christmas for a masculine Christmas card, but you could always put that with the red velvet with perhaps a different colour if you want to do something that's a little bit more feminine. So I hope that that gives you some ideas. I'm going to be using the red velvet paper this week, so please stop by and see what I create with that. Please subscribe to my channel below to see quick cards on a Monday and a quick tip on a Friday. Thanks for stopping by.